Let's move on to our fourth main topic today. Chris, what is our fourth main topic today?
This is from Aravanda Sen. One of the highlights from Comic-Con for me was the trailer for HBO's upcoming adaptation of The Watchmen. It looks like they're keeping the spirit of the graphic novel and movie and creating a brand new story within that world, and as a fan, I got excited. The movie was faithful to the source material, and I loved it, so I'm happy to see HBO take the show in a different direction. Have you seen this trailer, and what did you think? We checked this out just a little while ago. What'd you think, John?
I'm going to be honest with you. I was open to the idea of this Watchmen series. I thought it was an interesting choice to do it. I saw the first kind of little teaser they put out for it. I'm like, okay, as a teaser, it was fine. I'm like, okay, it's intriguing as a teaser. So now they put out their first big trailer. And I got to tell you, it doesn't really do anything for me. Now, look. Understand this. I am not like what some of you guys are, which is a hardcore fan of The Watchmen. So take that with I've read The Watchmen. I was mediocre on the movie itself. Most people either love or hate The Watchmen movie. I was down the middle of it. I thought it had its redeeming qualities, had its bad qualities as well. But I'm watching this trailer now. Granted, the first one was just a teaser, but this is kind of its second trailer. And I'm still like, I don't get any sense of what this show is. I really don't. I'm watching it and I'm like, you guys know I'm a sucker for this type of material, but I'm watching, I'm like, I'm getting no sense as to what the tone and the personality and the DNA and the story, and I have just no idea what this is. You're showing me a bunch of images, like this one, which is pretty effing cool. You're showing me a bunch of images that while standing alone and on their own, and I love seeing Louis Gossett Jr. in there, by the way, too. Just let me throw that in there. Officer and a Gentleman. Am I you, boy? Anyway, I didn't get any sense for what this movie is. I didn't get a sense of that it even had any sense of its own identity. Now, look, just because I found that to be the case with the trailer, that doesn't mean the show is that way. The show may be like the best thing ever done. We're only talking about the trailer at this point. But if we're going to ask the question is, did the trailer do its job to get somebody like me more excited for it? At this point, I got to say no. The only thing about it that really got me excited, honestly, was this shot right here. You know, obviously they're alluding to maybe that's Dr. Manhattan. This is a great shot to put into a trailer. And that's the one part that I went, oh, you know. But overall, I have to admit, the trailer did not do the job of a trailer, which is to get me more excited than I was. I'm not dreading this show. I'm not looking forward to it. But as far as the trailer goes, this just didn't do it for me. Aaron, you had a chance to watch this thing. Mm-hmm. Did it get you intrigued into the show, or how did you respond to it?
I'm with you, John. I have no idea what the show is about. And I'm glad that you said it first, because I was like, am I missing something here? I mean, and you're right. It looks really cool. But I will watch the show because I have to say, I love Regina King. And I am so happy. I was so happy to see that she is the star of this, because I went, you know what? This woman is finally like having her big moment. I mean, she's been a journeyman actor for her entire life, but I really love her, so I will watch it. I have to say, though, there was a moment when they lay the American flag over a coffin, and it's, you know, the American flag where the stars and the stripes are all messed up, and we don't know. It's kind of
an alternate world.
It's an alternate world, but I've been watching The Handmaid's Tale, and so it's really I have so much anxiety. I don't know if I physically can watch it, but I will, because it does look cool. But I watch the trailer and I go, but what's it about? I don't know. But again, it looks cool. I'll give it 2 episodes, and if I don't understand what's going on after 2 episodes, I'm probably gonna be out.
Yeah, Chris, at this point, there are probably some people watching the show screaming at their screens. If you know the graphic novel, you would know what's going on. To which I would say 2 things. I do know the graphic novel, not as well as some, but I know the graphic novel. And
I don't.
I'm not following very well, but I would propose this. If you have to, and I say this about every property, if you have to have read the graphic novel in order to understand the trailer, then you did a bad job making your trailer. Agreed. Like if you have to, if this trailer is only going to appeal to a certain portion of people who read and understood the graphic novel, then you did a terrible job making your trailer. So, and that's not to say that you should think that the trailer's terrible. I'm not suggesting that. It just didn't work for me. But I don't buy into the excuse of, well, you have to understand the graphic novel, because if that's the case, you didn't do your job. But anyway, Chris, you saw this trailer. Mm-hmm. What's your response to it? Are you liking it more than I am?
I am. I'm cautiously optimistic. So I am very familiar with the graphic novel. But you're right, though. You shouldn't have to have a whole backstory on reading these 12 issues to know the show. And no one likes an actually. You know, when a guy or a girl comes up to you and actually, if you read the book, you'd understand this moment where he drops that mask. No one likes that. We want Lucky 10,000. We all want to go, oh my gosh, let me introduce you to my fandom. Come with me. This is going to be so fun. I'm so excited you don't know about this. And that's what I'm hoping this show becomes. And what's more interesting to me is the stuff that's not in the trailer, but what the creators of the show have been saying. They've been talking about how that original graphic novel of The Watchmen, which, by the way, elevated the entire comic genre. If you ever have
Massive
any
influence.
doubts of how good comics are, guys, or friends who can't get into comics, give them Watchmen. So good. I'm glad they're doing a different interpretation because it's so hard to adapt it because it took the medium in such a crazy way that no one had done before. But so that book is canon. They're not changing any of the history of that. That's going to be where everything is rooted in. I'm super excited for this alternate universe where we don't have internet, where cops have to mask themselves to protect themselves so no one can come after them.
That was interesting.
That's
I dug
fascinating.
the way they said that. That is one of the highlights of the trailer to me, yeah.
So I'm really excited to see how this goes. And like any Alan Moore-based project, Alan Moore is not attached to this. So it's going to be interesting to see how a bunch of these people who are self-described fanboys and girls who are trying to make this and elevate this project, see how they interpret his work and see if they make him proud. Or if he'll just go hang out in his mountain, you know.
It's funny you bring up Alan Moore because I was reading, some comments from Damon Lindelof today, who's of course the showrunner of this. He's written this, talking about how it still keeps him up at night, the fact that Alan Moore will not endorse this. He said it bothers him. He's troubled because he respects him so much and all that kind of stuff. So it'll be interesting to see where it goes. Now, remember, I'm not saying this show is going to be bad. Not at all. We're just talking about the trailer. I just don't feel like the trailer did its job.
Really quick, just for a point of clarification, is Alan Moore not endorsing it because he doesn't believe in it or because he doesn't endorse anything?
He pretty much doesn't endorse anything.
I can't recall off the top of my head that.
So this isn't like him saying I don't approve of this project. But this is just him saying, "Hey man, I'm not."
No, he's pretty strict. He's like, do not put my name on this. Do not use my name to promote this. Blah blah blah. But he did that with the original movie as well. If I'm not mistaken. It's just,
I believe V for Vendetta he didn't have himself attached to.
So that's just kind of his thing. He's like, I do the comic books and I do not endorse the film version of any of my projects.
It might be a little bit more crotchety than that. It might not just be, it's just simple policy. I think it might be a little bit more than that. But anyway, Damon Lindelof being attached, I think that's an intriguing thing. People love and hate Damon Lindelof stuff. I happen to kind of like it. Question is, guys, what did you make of the trailer for The Watchmen? Jump down to the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. All right, with that down out of the way, let's move on to our final main topic today. Chris.